Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Prospect Central 101. My name is Chris Robbins, and today we're going to be taking a look at Amani Oruwariye, the corner from Penn State. So, he is one of my personal favorite players in the class, which is a trend that you guys will find coming up over the next couple of days. I'm going to try and keep most of these positive for the next couple of days leading into the draft and try and get some guys a little bit more positive coverage. Because I feel like we're starting to get to that point where it's like, okay, this guy stinks at this guy stinks at this guy's not good at this, whatever. And we're kind of just starting to drag some of these guys down, and it's really kind of getting a little bit more of a negative vibe in the draft community, and why my team shouldn't take such and such guy. So over the next couple days, I'm going to try and reverse that trend a little bit, and pump some guys up who aren't maybe necessarily the highest on a lot of people's boards, but probably should be. So today we're going to be starting off with Amani Oruwariye, and he is personally one of my favorite corners in the class, and you guys will see why in a minute here when we get into the tape. He is a fifth-year senior out of Penn State. His measurables, I believe these are combine, at 6'1", 5/8 inches tall, 205 pounds, 9-inch hands, and 31 3/8 inch arms. Of course, these grades are from Mark Jarvis. This is his database, so shout out to him for the tape collection and everything else. But yeah, these are not my grades. Just gonna throw that out there. Mine are actually up there, but I'm not gonna show those just yet. So again, shout out to Mark for the tape collection here. But for now, we are going to be taking a look at these three games from 2018, of course, the most recent college season. There might be a couple 2019 games for guys we're doing over the next couple days because of the playoff, but all these should be 2018. We have Iowa, Pittsburgh, and Maryland. So we're going to start with the Iowa game. I'm just going to go down in order here, and we're going to see what he has to show on tape. So also, I didn't really talk a lot about this when I first opened the video, but one thing that really stood out to Amani for me that kind of kept him really high on my board compared to some of these other guys were the measurables. I didn't show his combine results. Actually, let me just pull these up real quick on my tablet here for you guys. Amani Oruwariye's RAS score was Oruwariye. RAS. He posted a. That's from March 24th. That should be recent enough. 8.45 RAS. He had a 4.4740. And a really good 3-cone, 6.82 3-cone, which was 82nd percentile in the class, a 17 bench, which was 83rd percentile, and of course height and weight were both extremely good, 95 and 94th percentile in both of those categories. So his biggest issues were the 10-yard split, interestingly enough, at 2.61 RAS, and a 20-yard split, which was a 2.66, which is a 4.25 RAS grade. So everything else is pretty good, average, okay, in the yellow territory. So overall, you're getting someone that's great size, really good agility, just not really a lot of burst in that first 10 yards. Which is okay. He has the deep speed that you need. I like to see him fastening around a 4.5. If you hit like 4.51, 4.52, whatever. But 4.47 is definitely better than that benchmark. So yeah, with that being said, let's just get right into this. Oops, back in it. And he is number 21. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should put this in half speed. There we go. So first off, I like the stance here. Just really, really nice and balanced. Front foot a little bit in front. Good pressure. I like his smooth back pedal. And you guys will see that a lot more frequently, probably in better pictures. Ooh, nice physical tackler. I like how he brings him down. That's Hawkinson too. That's like a bigger body. I think. There's Hawkinson 39. I think he's 38. So we've actually seen him lined up here twice in a row now in the first 3 plays. Really interesting that they're actually putting him on TJ. Run play. Nice job avoiding the block. At least getting engaged in the pile. I like that he's willing to be physical. Nice job getting to steal that edge quick. Force player on that particular look. Top of the screen. Nice job staying engaged. Nice stop by the interior of Penn State there. Top of the screen. I believe that's on Amir. So one thing that a lot of people are talking about with Amani I don't really understand is how stiff he is. I'm not really seeing that myself. He did look a little stiff in Indy, but let's be honest, basically everybody did. Like, cornerback drills in Indianapolis were not good for anybody. But you do get to see on tape that that's not necessarily the case. And you see it right there. Like, this is on half speed, and he just clipped wide open here. Actually, one more time in super slow. This is in 0.25. And you guys should be able to see here how he opens up when he comes across on this end. Right there, boom. And that was in super slow. And you guys can probably barely see that movement. He's really nice job of staying in tight here with the receiver. In the right zone. A little bit more tight quarters. Top of the screen. Force play here. Took away that nice edge on the outside. Bottom of the screen here. He's being really bouncy there. Interesting. I like that the feet are active. Of course, it was a running play, so. Same thing. Again, just putting Amani on the edge almost and using him as a force player. And yeah, again, just really sealing off that force play on that edge. They really like him in run support in this game. Of course, Iowa's more of a pro-style offense, so that does make some sense as to why they'd be leaning towards stopping the run. Just all around fantastic tight coverage there from Amani, and this is what you're going to be getting with him at the pro level. Just this kind of play, and again in the right zone, the right area of the field here, like just so smooth on the athlete, out of his break. But I really like here he just stays with him, and boom, right next to him, gives him very, very minimal separation if any at all. Zone play. One thing that was kind of interesting about this particular look is how he plays the boundary in this zone. I kind of like here how he keeps the receiver in front of him so that he can see if this receiver tries to get in around him. Because if this receiver gets in behind his head, then he kind of loses track of that guy by default. So he almost overcommits to the boundary in a sense to protect himself from getting beat behind him, which in a red zone situation is probably a good thing. Same thing here. You're seeing him play that boundary really close, and actually it kind of worked out for him on this play. Because you're going to see this receiving target. I don't know if that was a tight end. It might be Hawkinson. But right here, he almost tries to go behind Amani, and you see him have to cut back inside, which helps Amani keep track of his guy, and it ends up leading to solid coverage. So, another zone look. Nice pressure from the defender. Again at the line of scrimmage. In a power set. Nice job taking on the blocker to free up the outside guy to make the tackle. Love his willingness to be physical there. Blitz play here. Oh, taking out by the leg. Still, it's really interesting. Oh, nice pick. It's really interesting to see just how aggressive Penn State is with their usage of Amani. And a lot of these guys, like you're looking at mainly cover guys. I don't remember seeing Greedy blitz a particularly decent chunk of the time. I don't remember really seeing DeAndre Baker blitz large portion of the time. Things of that sort. So with Amani, you're getting a guy who's really going to be able to run support and blitz on occasion as well, which is actually kind of more of a nickel trait. But having that ability from the outside is kind of unique. And it's one of the things that really helps him add some extra value in my eyes and why I like him more than some of the other guys in this class. Same thing here. Force player, right there to helping on the tackle. Love the run support you're getting with him. Zone play. Oh, what a play by Amani here. Are we going to replay it? Yep. So this is a zone look here, as we can pretty much tell. And they're going to almost try and pick him off, but this number 6 doesn't really set the pick. And it's almost like a stick concept. And Amani just sees this little hitch. He breaks. Nice closing speed. Bam! Gets his arm out, uses his arm length there extremely effectively to get a nice pass deflection on this play. Bam! He just read that so nice, and he gets out right in front of it for the easy incompletion. Beautiful read by Amani. And that's honestly what's going to separate him from a lot of the corners in this class, and why I have around 1 on him. Oh, fumble. Love how he's keeping the receiver in front of him. He has really good field awareness and vision. He knows where guys are. Because he's able to keep guys in front of him like that. On Fant, and took him away. Nice. Okay, this time also Fant, I believe. Chase him down. Would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive with that pursuit angle instead of trying to take out the back. But, oh well. Oh, screenplay. Pretty good read on his part. Was able to get around Hawkinson to try and impact that play. Same thing here. Now come up and make the tackle. Make the tackle, wrap him up. Not bad. Could have been better, but oh well. Kind of. Same thing. He's going to have to come up and make this play, probably. Yep. Wrap and roll. Okay, so technically fundamentals could probably use some work. But at least he's willing tackler. Doesn't run away from plays like I've seen some other corners in this class. Should that? Or that works, I guess, too. I love how he opens here. Right here, opens, boom, explodes out of it. Love it. Tight coverage across the middle of the field. Oh, nice play, 99. That might be Gross Matos in the top defensive line in next year's class. Okay, fade route deep, turn your head, nice. Excellent job here enforcing the boundary. I really like how physical he was on this route. And boom, this whole play, this entire play, he keeps him outside the numbers. This receiver is being basically forced to work in a phone booth because of the way Amani positions himself against the receiver, and it forces Nate Stanley to make a really, really difficult throw. And honestly, that's how you play guy tight, and that's how you force the boundary. That's a really, really nice play on his part. A little bit slower on the break there than the last time, but still, regardless, nice physical tackle when he did get there. Just a second late. And here we go, there's a nice look. Okay, so one thing that's really interesting about this view is you can kind of see how he adjusts to Amir Smith-Marsette's route. And watch here how he kind of just changes his direction here really, really quickly. Then backs, and then strikes over. Backs again, and then really able to break back and stop that back ball and then attack downward. So honestly, I'm really, really pleased with this movement skill and his ability to shift without moving. And then, yeah, you can tell he's not really playing the ball here as much. He kind of knows that he's not going to be able to really make a big time play on the ball. So he's really going to kind of just have to go for the tackle. And he just does a nice job of wrapping and trying to roll. He's not really strong enough, I guess is the word there, to be able to finish that roll. He has to bring him down instead. Come up and make a play. Come up and make a play. There you go. Nice back pedal, really smooth with the movement and the foot. Might have been a zone look of some kind. Another play where we have Amani playing close to the line here. Zone. Oh, nice play by fan. Top of the screen. Nice route, and again we get to see that nice break from Amani. Just a touch late. But those are the types of plays that you're going to have to use to be able to beat him like that. Nice, really, really quick hitch. And he didn't get caught playing that far off. He's only about 5 yards off, and most of that was back. Back pedal. He starts at the line. Well, he's actually about 2 yards behind the line. He's not, the wide receiver's not even lined up on the line. So it's about 5 yards, period. But he's only about 2 or 3 yards off. So he's starting to back up almost as if this is his own play. And Nate Stanley does a nice quick job of getting this out really quick before Amani recognizes that's a hitch. And even still, like, he recognizes this at basically in this frame, that's going to be a quick underneath route. And he's already breaking. That was probably 1 or 2 seconds after he already started to throw. And he's right there. So it's really just those types of plays. And yeah, you're going to get beat every once in a while, but if you're going to get beat, give up 2 or 3 yards. Like, that's not really a huge loss on him. He was right there to make the play. That's more than good enough for me. That's not cool on the ref. Love how he's playing on the line also. Doesn't even necessarily have to press, but he is playing relatively tight to these receivers, which is good. Again in the box for Amani in zone. Doing a really nice job consistently of staying open to the inside of the field. Going close to the outside. Same thing. Just doing a really nice job of staying disciplined. Making sure he doesn't give up anything after the catch. Now take on the block, take on the block. Okay. Would have preferred him to stay on the feet there, but oh well. Oh, that was a nice balance by running back. Dang, good run. Nice discipline from Amani. Didn't over pursue that. Because of that, he's able to take on the blocker and Stanley and help force him out. That's really, really nice job there by Amani to stay disciplined on the defensive side. Oh, beautiful patience. I love how he doesn't overcommit to the side here. Watch what he's going to do to this receiver. Right here, he starts moving back, and he's shooting a little bit to the inside. He is moving inside with this receiver, but he doesn't ever open to give the receiver leverage outside. He keeps that center balance, and because of that, he's able to stick to him really, really tight without giving up any ground. That was really, really nice, intricate detail there by Amani, and it helps him really stay in front, stay in front of the receiver. That's a really nice play on his part. Challenging him over the top, not a chance. Really nice job there by Amani to stay with him. He'll now make the play. Nice. Very nice. Again, able to close that ground really, really nicely, which kind of contradicts that 10-yard split. And yeah, here we go. He's going to be in his zone here. He has to be responsible for both Fant and the receiver. And oh, look at that read. What a play by Amani to read Nate Stanley's eye. Watch his head. He's reading the quarterback, reading the quarterback, reading the quarterback. Bam! He hasn't even thrown this ball, and he's already starting to move over to this receiver route. Watch, and then his first step here. He's going to explode right out of that break. Bam! Nice long stride. Ball just got up in the air. He's already leaving Fant to take on the receiver. Boom! Able to close that ground because of that mental awareness. Great field vision. Great discipline in his zone. That's just incredible zone coverage on his part. Really, really nice job of playing both receivers. I should say both receiving targets on that particular look. Okay, tight zone look here. Oh, what a play. Terrible throw by Stanley. Well, decision, not necessarily throw. Oh gosh, Houston. Okay, top of the screen, playing really off, knowing that there's 1 minute to go in the fourth. Oh, just out of the hands. Top of the screen once more. Nice boundary catch. Great play by TJ Hawkinson. Again, like how he's seeing open in that zone look. Looks like you stay with him the whole way through. Okay. Right there, make the tackle. He is being a little bit passive at the catch point, which is a bit disappointing. But regardless, I still do like how he is able to close. Nice pass deflection by 29. Oh man, Nate, what are you doing on that play? Not that should 20 yards would make too much more difference. Okay, so that was the first game. I got to see some things that we really liked. He was able to close some gaps, which was nice. He was being played in the box quite heavily against more of a run-heavy offense, which was kind of nice to see. Got to see him make some tackles, bring some guys down, so that was pretty cool. Nice zone coverage for sure. He's looking really, really good in zone. He's being pretty sticky in man, which to me is one of the things I really like about him. It really shows off the balance and his ability to play both kinds of coverage, which we're not really seeing happen all the time. And more of these recent classes, a lot of these teams tend to play more man or more zone. And he's playing a really nice balanced style of defense, which is really nice. So, oh, forgot to slow this down. Oh, yeah, let's check out some speed. Amani Oruwariye. Okay, right here, inside the defense. Nice physicality with the press. Bottom of the screen. Again, nice tight base. Blitz. Bottom of the screen. I like his quickness with the feet as well. I like how he got out of the break. Nice job staying with this guy in this direction. Oh, I like how he broke up on that. Nice play. Playing him off here. Zone look of some kind. Nice back pedal though. Blitz play again. They really do like sending him quite often for a corner. Nice pursuit angle on that play. Oh, there you go. That's the really thing. And again, this is what you're going to be getting from Amani at the NFL level as well. And this is why I love him so much. And this is why he should go very high next week. This is the type of play that's really going to be a game changer for you in 2019. Watch here. Oh, pristine positioning. Just look at where he's at positioning this receiver. You cannot be any more in phase than this. I mean, it does not get much better in terms of tight man coverage than that. And then to be able to stay, oh, that's basically, oh, I don't even want to say it on YouTube. That is incredible. Watch this. Boom, just, oh my gosh. I love this. This is why I love corners so much, you guys. And this is why I always try and do these guys first. When I start next year's class, these will be the guys I focus on too. Just watch how he's able to completely take this away. And this is not very much against the receiver. The receiver is pretty much in a decent position to go over the top and win 50-50 if he's big enough and strong enough and everything else. But against a guy like Amani, you're not really going to be as able to do that because he has the length, he has the size, he has the speed to be able to keep up with you, he has the agility and the quickness to be able to match you in certain routes, he has the cover ability to stick with you and limit your separation without being too grabby and handsy. He's so technically sound and he has the measurables in terms of both speed and size to be able to play with you. And then just his ability to track this ball. Boom. And again, the receiver does this right here. He knows he has to go over the top to come over and beat Money the football. The quarterback can't really make much better a throw unless he literally throws this out of bounds and the receiver just makes an incredible catch to kind of rob one from the out of bounds. And the receiver is basically just outboxed. I mean, you could put Julio Jones in that situation, and I'm not entirely sure he's coming down with that. Just, oh my goodness. I love this place so much. Boom, just the whole way through. And look at how tight he's playing this sideline. There's no room for this receiver to go anywhere further outside than he is. And he's not letting him get any further back inside. This receiver is being literally forced into a phone booth. The door is being locked shut. He's not moving anywhere except for up and down the field. And next what puts Amani in the position to just box him out and make a contested, but still very easy interception. simply because he had done everything start to finish so perfect on that play. Oh my goodness, man. And that's why he's corner one, really. I don't see a flag. Yeah, that's an interception. Whatever he was seeing, it wasn't penalty on Amani, so I don't care. Are you going to show me a full? Yes. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Oh, he tries to double move him here. So he starts this deceleration here, and Amani just doesn't even flinch. Oh, yes. And boom, oh my goodness. Look at how tight he's able to play him. Boom. He isn't giving him a millimeter, let alone an inch. He is so perfectly in phase and in position here. I mean, you're not getting any better fundamentally. Boom. Just undercut. Oh my goodness, man. You are not beating. That is probably the best play out of any single corner's tape in this class. Simply because he's able to do everything so well from start of the play, from snap to the end of the play and the finish. And the way he's able to come down with that, I mean, oh my gosh. Beautiful. Beautiful tight coverage. I like how he breaks down there. If your team drafts Amani Oruwariye, somebody needs to clip that and put that on Twitter. Hopefully it's the Lions, because I really, really want him in Honolulu Blue next year. He is exactly what we need opposite Darius Slay. And honestly, you know what? That's honestly a really good comp for him. I do think he's a little bit bigger than Slay, and if I remember correctly, Slay was about a 10 faster. He was like 4.3s on a much better 10 split. But in terms of traits and being able to stay in phase and track ball, a little bit better in zone than man, but very effective in both. The traits that we're seeing here in terms of enforcing the boundary and the physicality, being able to make a play and run support when necessary, the being able to tackle, and at times really nice pursuit angles like right there. He is so similar to what I love about Darius Slay in Detroit. And even wears the same number, I believe. No, Slay's 23. Wow, that was a fail. Did Slay wear 21 at Mississippi State? Is that why I'm thinking that? For some reason, I think I remember Slay wearing 21 at Mississippi State. I might be wrong about that. Come up, make this play. Okay, nice shot taking away the pursuit angle again. Okay. And that's one way to catch the team off guard, I suppose. Nice physical tackle there. Again, fundamentally probably could have been better, but he stopped him short of the first down. So there's his job to bring him down at the minimum. Top of the screen. Boom, look at the break. Oh man, what a play by Amani. And this is like we saw in the first game, right? He's so efficient out of this break. Watch how he's going to get out of this with it. I don't want to call this C-step. but his break step, boom, right here. Watch this left foot explode, bam! Covers that ground so quick, and he's able to get his hand up and make the play. Oh my goodness, man. This is why he's my top corner in the class. I like him more than Greedy. I like him more than Baker because he has a little bit more of the vertical ability, like you saw in the interception. That Baker doesn't necessarily have. Baker's more of a cover two underneath zone and man type of guy. Whereas with mine, he's a little bit more versatile. You can play him a little bit more deep in those zones. But watch this here. Boom! Just going to right there break out of that so efficiently. And because of that, he's going to make it. Oh, look at the hand placement. Watch where he gets the hands in between the receiver's hands to get this play on the football. Boom! Right here. Great view of it. Receiver's hands go up, and then bam! He just flicks them. Gets his hands right in the middle of them and gets a violent pass deflection. Beautiful. Man, I want to see him go so high so bad in April, man, or next week, man. Oh, this is quality coverage. Nice job of staying open in the zone. Again, that particularly plays dividends here. Leader of the secondary. Of course, you kind of expect that as a fifth-year senior, but still worth pointing out anyway. A lot of experience in that scheme. And you can tell he's a senior just by his polish and tech. Oh, look at that back pedal. So smooth and clean with the back pedal. Breaks out of it. Boom, nice hit. Oh, yes. Gives up that inch or so separation on third down. Make sure he plays the downfield threat on that third down and long. But he's able to close that gap so quickly. His closing speed is really, really high level for a corner. And even though he doesn't, again, have net fastest 10-yard split or even 20-yard split, the way that he closes these gaps on tape almost kind of makes me want to overlook that in a lot of ways. Because the way that he's just able to really, really, that 5 yards out of the break is so nice. It almost makes me think he got out of a slow start out of the gate. Which makes me wonder how much faster his actual true 40 could have been in some ways. Simply because he's been really, really consistent with his closing speed. And now again, he might be like a hundredth of a second slow on some of these. We've seen him just miss a couple of these, but at the same time, we've seen him really, really react so effectively to a couple of these plays as well that it makes up for it more than enough. So there you go. There's his pick game. Definitely a little bit better than the other one. Though that's not saying anything about his Iowa game at all. That's saying how much I like the pick game. That pick was basically one of the best plays I've seen in corner tape since last year. Just overall incredibly impressive. Man, gotta love that. That was really, really fun to watch. And those plays are why I love corners so much. Everyone always asks why corners are my favorite position to scout because you can't always see them all the time with the L22. And it's simply plays like that. Like those are the types of plays that really change games and forcing turnovers on defense. I've always been more of a defensive kind of guy myself. I love rooting for low scoring games. The Super Bowl was fantastic. Um, but yeah, oh my goodness, and it's really just the ability to be able to match up against someone like that. Because as a defender, it's not always your job to set a play. It's more your job to be responsible for the rest of the what your offensive matchup is doing. And as the offensive job, the receiver's job to me is more so about setting the play and being like, okay, this is going to be my route, so this is what I'm going to do on this play. Whereas the corner's job or the safety's job, linebacker, whoever's in coverage's job is more to match that and be like, okay, so I have to cover this guy, I have to react to what he's doing. And I almost find it to be a little bit more difficult in a lot of ways because as a receiver, you can be with a nice quick cut. Like we see Hollywood do this a lot. You really see that nice quick cut, and he's able to create that separation in a lot of ways. And as a corner, like you can kind of predict certain routes and like obviously hitches and things that are really quick. Like we see Amani do, he reacts to those really quickly, which is what makes him a great corner. But like some of these guys like Hollywood or even see Deontay do this a couple times on his tape, it's kind of hard to react to some of those routes. So I find the corner's job a little bit more difficult because you're more reactive instead of proactive. So those things are more interesting to me when I watch, and honestly, that's what separates some of these guys from being high level type guys like your Darius Slays, your Marshall Lattimore's, your Jalen Ramsey's versus your lower level corners in the league who end up busting. But on the other hand, too, and I'm not going to let this go either, especially as a Lions fan now. Well, I mean, now is how we've changed philosophies under Patricia, is the run support. We really get to see him make plays in the box against the run. And be a force player. We've seen him redirect some runs back inside or opposite counter. So it's really interesting to see him have that impact on that aspect of the game. And you don't really see that with a lot of corners. I'll point out Greedy Williams being the main one. Excellent cover corner. Great length, great speed. Faster than Amani. Slightly taller than Amani. I would say probably slightly better in man than Amani, especially in terms of those deep man coverage traits. What he wants to be is obviously inconsistent, got his own issues. But with Amani, the thing that you're getting that separates him from Greedy Williams to me is his tackling ability consistently. Again, Greedy can tackle, he's just not consistent about doing it willingly. And his ability to play run support at the line of scrimmage. You see on this play here, nice block shot. Of course, he ended up team defending there. Nice shot to finish. Boom. Nice coverage by number 5. Just wish he would have turned his head. Okay, zone coverage, of course, here. And one thing that you're really seeing, I love this about Amani, is doesn't really get covered a lot because it looks like he's giving up separation here. When in actuality, that's not at all what he's doing. He's backpedal. I love his quick backpedal. I've said that a million times too. But what he's doing here, a nice job of here, is he's doing a nice job of just keeping the guy in front of him. Right here, he's keeping his eyes on the play, making sure it develops. But he's making sure that that receiver doesn't get behind him and he doesn't lose track of him. And that was, I'll go really big flashback here, a couple of years for you guys, for those of you guys who've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now, is Sidney Jones had a really big issue with that. I loved how he enforced the boundary. He was really physical. Really good press corner who was aggressive in a lot of ways. Good run support guy. but in times in zone and in the deeper man coverage areas, he kind of loses track of guys getting behind him. And that's the one thing that Amani has been really consistent about doing, is the opposite of that, and staying open to the inside of the field. Oh, nice job being tackled there. Again, fundamentals, a little bit of work, but he brought the guy down. Zone coverage. Nice pass by the quarterback. Risky throw, but great play. Forced play here. Excellent. There you go, Amani. Very nice tackle here. And this is the kind of thing that you want to see from your corners. And especially as a kind of Detroit fan, this is the kind of thing that we're going to be looking for from our Honolulu Blue corners next year. Just love how he goes for the leg. Bam, wrapping roll. Excellent job bringing him down to the ground for a loss. Excellent. Nice job staying open. Oh, beautiful switch. So again, something that you're going to want to see. We haven't really talked a lot about yet, but it doesn't really happen too often. But against some of your more complex offenses, again, as the Detroit fan mentioned, Chicago with Matt Nagy, what you're going to see here, he starts out man here against this receiver. Then he switches to zone and takes away that other receiver. Really, really nice play, being able to get in and out there. Nice. Now shut that out. Okay. Kind of got held a little bit. Almost playing him at safety on that look. That's interesting. Nice tackle by the number 4. Also in the box here. Made the tackle. Okay. Not exactly ideal, but he did bring him down, I guess. Okay. Interesting. So he stayed open, and Maryland kind of attacked that. So what you're going to see here in slow-mo is how his hips flip. And actually, it's going to be at this frame. But we'll get to that in a second. I want to show this whole play. So what you're going to see here, he does a nice job here of staying open right here, especially. Giving that receiver that inside leverage. But it's an out route. So how is he going to flip? Pretty nicely. Obviously, he's not able to get out of that break as effectively based on the separation. Gives him just enough space here to make the play. Bounced off his hands. But he didn't really give up a ton of ground. He didn't really get beat. That was more of a good play by the receiver than a bad play by him, is what I'm getting at. Switch again. Maryland's really utilizing those switch concepts against him. Sack. Okay, top of the screen, which means he's probably going to be throwing that. Yep. Okay. Gave up a little bit of separation at the top of the route. Is he going to be able to close? Incomplete. Alright. So he did his job at least. Are you going to show me a different view of this? Yes. Okay. Nice ball tracking here. Get to see the head turn. Nice closing speed as he's able to come back for it. Sees the receiver pause, so he knows about where the ball is going to go. Playing the receiver is what he's doing here. He's trying to separate the receiver from the ball instead of the other way around, which against, in this particular situation, given that he was kind of making up ground here, ended up working out really well. And then when the receiver brings this down, he goes to knock this ball out, and he does. So overall, probably could have been better in terms of staying in phase, but given the wackiness of that play, I can't really blame him. He was asked to stay in coverage for a incredibly long period of time. And he did well enough to be where he was able to make the play. So I want to see him be a little bit more aggressive. He's not being passive, which is okay. He's just not really being as aggressive I'd like. Also, would like to see him a little bit more in press. He is playing tight at the line and off man and nice zone, but you're not really getting to see a lot of him in terms of actual press technique, which isn't really a huge deal, but especially because he's playing online. Okay. Don't know how he ended up on the ground. Would like to know how that happened. Nice discipline in the zone. Now stay back, then come up, come up, come up. Yes, there you go. Beautiful discipline here. Excellent patience. Love what he's able to do on this particular play. So first off, we're going to talk about how he stays in the zone. Right? Nice shot of staying open here. Reading the field, reading the play. Sees this this drag concept. Now what he's able to do, he's able to keep this receiver in front of him on 3rd and 13. Right? So now receiver starts to head downfield. He can technically throw this. So Amani does a nice job still staying back, moving back behind him. Then bam, this quarterback crosses the line, ensures a scramble drill, and then right here you see Amani's back foot break out, and he's able to come up, undercut this receiver, forces pursuing and go on 3rd down, force 4th down. Excellent. Nice pressure. This Penn State defensive front is actually doing a really nice job throughout getting pressure. It's a good sign for Gross Miles next year. I can see why he's a top pick. Dang, this receiver's elusive. Is that Tyler Johnson? Oh, he's Minnesota. What am I saying? Okay, in box, 3rd and 1. Force this. Force. Oh, he's edge here. Interesting. So he almost has a linebacker's duty here. And what you're really going to want to see here is gap integrity. Now, we don't really talk about this a lot with corners because a lot of corners aren't really asked to play gaps. But in this particular play, he is. Now, so what you're going to see here first is you're going to see him start out as force, which means he's responsible for playing. Whoops. Which means he starts out. Whoops. As being the guy who is forced to play outside of the edge. So it's really the edge's job to kind of be like that last, take out the last offensive lineman on the outside, whatever. When I say force, what I'm referring to is the guy who plays outside of the edge and is responsible for the space between the edge and the boundary. So he's the guy that's basically like, whenever you see like a stretch play, right, where the guy goes around the edge, that's where your force is supposed to be. Your force is the guy who steals the stretch plays off. So in this play, Amani starts out as the force, the guy who's responsible for taking out the outside of the edge. Then the edge guy here actually draws out both blockers. So Amani here has to shift from being the force play to when this running back takes us inside and he draws out, he has to shift his responsibility to the edge, which means staying in this gap. Really nice gap integrity, and unfortunately, because he ends up taking the inside gap, because of my sealed his outside gap, he still picks up the 1st down. But there are two things that I love about what Amani did there that are really, really selling him to me in run support. First, how he was able to make that force play from the start and make sure he went inside. And then second, he was able to take away that inside gap and force him to take that interior run. Now, of course, again, as a Lions fan, I can say that's exactly what we would want him to do in Detroit, because here we're going to have Snacks and Ishan in that A gap. So he's not going to have anywhere to go. So having a corner who's going to be able to take away that gap, if we were to draft him, that's a bonus in addition to his coverage traits. Oh, what a stiff arm. Nice slant coverage. Very nice. Finish the tackle, finish the nice. Okay, so again, main thing that he's going to want to do on the slant route is make sure that he doesn't get beat deep and make sure that he doesn't get beat across the middle. So, what he does here, make sure he doesn't get beat deep with this back pedal. Make sure he doesn't get beat across the middle by cutting off this pursuit angle. Very nice. Now, oh, that was a brutal switch. Yeah, that was not well played. I couldn't tell you whose fault really that was, but that was just terribly deep defended. That, on the other hand, was really nice. If 99 is gross models, then I'm going to really look forward to watching his tape next year. He's made plays all over the tape. Zone look. Again, really nice job of staying open. Also, I haven't talked about this a lot yet. He's been playing, he's been playing both sides as well. So he's not like an X guy, Y guy, Z guy. He's not really a left or right boundary kind of guy. He's just going to cover whoever you tell him to cover, which is really, really nice. I don't even know if he's necessarily following guys either, which is interesting. Zone coverage. Good read by the quarterback. Okay, that's going to happen, especially on third down in the zone. Okay, nice recovery with the balance there. Oh, dang. Okay, zone look again. Really nice job of staying open with the hips. Nice pursuit angle. So, there you go. That is Amani Oruwariye. And you guys hopefully got to see some of the things that I really, really like about him. He does a lot of things extremely well. And we got to see a lot of his best traits on display consistently, which is really, really nice. And I don't even really remember bringing up that many negatives either. And that's the one thing that really sold me on Amani as a first rounder in this class. And as my personal corner one is really just the lack of obvious negative flaws that you're getting with him. He's versatile in terms of where he can cover. He's versatile in terms of who he can cover, style of receiver. Um, he's versatile in terms of being able to defend the run and the pass. All phases of the game, man, zone, receiver one, receiver two, inside, outside, deep zone, underneath man, deep man. We got to see him make a play in every single possible aspect of the cornerback position that you're going to want to see him in, and will be able to see him in next year at the NFL level. And while I don't necessarily think he has the upside of a Greedy Williams, that's mainly because Greedy isn't as polished as Amani is. And a large majority of ways, Greedy is not near the run defender that Amani is, and he's not really as consistent as Amani is. And even just watching the rest of his games, I got to see a lot of Penn State stuff living in Michigan, a Big Ten type of area here. And of course, I got to see him versus Michigan a couple of times and everything else. As he a lot of the game, and of course, the Ohio State one we even didn't get to see either. I got to see all of that. That was a great game. And he does this against all these teams. It's not just the Maryland, the Iowa, and the what was the other team we saw? Pittsburgh. We got to see it consistently. Michigan State, I got to see too. I got to see Michigan State, Ohio State, and Michigan live. Got to see versus Michigan, got to see versus Ohio State, got to see versus Iowa, got to see versus Pittsburgh, got to see versus Maryland, got to see versus Michigan State, got to see it in the bowl game, I believe, at least last year. So he's really, really consistent. He's really, really technically sound. He's really, really polished. He's really, really versatile. And that's why he's the safest pick in the cornerback class to me, and that's why he's my highest graded corner. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this one. There was a lot to like here. Hopefully you learned a thing or two as well. I got to point out some things to you guys that I really like about him, and hopefully you guys got to see that. And overall, I think he's going to be great almost wherever he goes, as long as he's utilized next year from day one. Hopefully for him, he goes round one. I think he deserves it. He's a first-round guy to me. And I have him, I think, top 15. I haven't finalized my board yet, but he's probably going to be somewhere in the top 15, at least top 20 for me. So I'm really, really a big fan of his, and he does a lot of the things that I think will make a successful corner at the NFL level and translate from the college to the NFL level. So, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning into this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts on him below. Do you think he's a good fit for your favorite team? Of course, Lions fans, I hope he's a good fit for us. I do think he is. I really, really love him in Honolulu Blue. I'm not sure about 8. I'm not really there yet. But I would definitely be happy with him at 43. Undoubtedly, if he fell to 43. He's certainly a trade back candidate for us. And if we took him at 8, I don't even think I'd necessarily be mad at that. To be completely 100% with you guys. So, on that note, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. But for now, peace out.